Hi there, friends. I'm meteorologist Robert Spett. I always do my best to talk about what's going on out here in the tropics. No hype, just giving you the latest information. And today we have, of course, Nakri, which is struggling just towards the east of Okinawa. Have a bit of the northeast monsoon trying to develop on the backside of this, and the easterlies continuing further down towards the south. And I'll talk a little bit about what that can mean with this area way off towards the east. But first, Nakri falling in the tails of Halong. Past us towards the east of Okinawa, it kind of stalled out here, sheer battering it. Really didn't have much flow to follow behind, but now it is getting picked up by a trough and kicking off towards north and east. Going to be passing awfully close to Hachijima, which right there in that center line actually puts the at least some of the highest winds with this over that island that was just impacted by Typhoon Halong. Winds were recorded there upwards of 200 kilometers per hour. So the last thing they need is yet another storm system. And it does look like this one is going to be kind of doing the same deal. See how it just slowly moves its way along here off towards the northeast, following it behind this trough. And yeah, by Sunday night into Monday morning, the Izu Islands yet again getting hit by another typhoon. You really feel for these guys out here. It's just been one storm after another. And then we can see the heavy rainfall coming in, basically passing just towards the south. Off towards the east, though, we got that relatively dry air that's working its way in. And also some big waves. You almost see a little bit of a cold surge set up. Watch as these waves cascade down towards the south, kind of interacting with the easterlies, which are going to be the dominant factor throughout the upcoming week if we're talking about further towards the south into the deep tropics from Guam over towards the Philippines. And here's a broader view of what I'm talking about here. As this moves off towards the north and east here, you kind of get a little bit of in the northeast monsoon attempting to start up here. We're still in the transition season. It actually was officially announced a few days ago by Pagasa, so no surprise here. And then you see how just the easterlies kind of wrap around just like that. Now, I do want to take you down towards the Philippines here real quick. And actually, I want to pull up what we have out here as far as the last few days and just all the different impacts we've been seeing in the Philippines here, because this is noteworthy. It's been the earthquakes we've been seeing. We had that multiple typhoons over the past month, and I understand that everybody's a little bit anxious here. I get it. Don't fall too far into conspiracy theories, so I can't stress that enough. The earthquakes and the typhoons are all not connected, despite I've been seeing some posts on social medias that would indicate otherwise. People are saying the craziest things, and they have millions of views on it. So just be smart, know your science, know fault lines are different fault lines wherever they are. Of course, everything's connected in some sort of way, but just be smart about what you're sharing and information you're gathering. You're watching this video and you're listening to me ramble on, so you're probably one of those people that do like a little bit of education. All right, let's go back to this satellite picture, and you can kind of see the leading edge of the northeast monsoon here. I point that out, by the way, because if I'm going to talk about the potential of another tropical system here in a minute, and I don't want you to get too spooked. All right, so here's the northeast monsoon. Then I have this area way off towards the east. In fact, let me see, it's just barely on the edge of the screen. That area just all the way out towards like the Chuk area. So let's go over to the Google DeepMind. This model has been doing really well recently. Even in long range forecasts, it's actually been kind of handling some of those long range ensembles. You can see as Nakri pulls off towards the north and east here as we go ahead through the 14th, 15th into the 16th, starts to weaken out. But then the ensembles here, this is the 16th heading into the 17th, really kind of indicating a big cluster here in the Philippine Sea. So this would be by next Friday. Or actually this Friday, I should say. It's about 6 days from now. And if we flip over to the GFS, let's go ahead and move this along through the 15th, 16th into the 17th. You can see the GFS is picking up on something out there. And the ECMWF almost has a broad low right in this area too. So my thought is that there is definitely the potential of something out here in the Philippine Sea trying to develop. The further south it goes, of course, the more likely it would impact the Philippines, but I think it would also escape any influences on the northeast monsoon further towards the north, thus keeping it at that kind of threshold for stronger tropical development. But I think if it did try to something developed here and move north, we might fall into the same pitfall that Nakri had here with a little bit of shear trying to weaken it out. So there is definitely a wide range of possibilities 5 to 6 days out, but I do find it interesting that the Google DeepMind is picking something up here, as well as the GFS and the ECMWF does at least have an area of low pressure. So there is definitely the possibility of something trying to form. All right, I know that's a lot of information to take in, but that's why you watch these videos. If you wanted just the meme culture, or maybe I should do that considering all the fake news stuff I've been seeing gets a lot of views. But if you wanted that, you would have just been following the meme culture versus getting the latest information and kind of looking at why things are happening and breaking it down and being educated. And that's the key thing. That's my goal here. There's one thing I'm good at, and that's forecasting the weather in the Western Pacific, but I am terrible at plumbing, for example. So I try to learn and watch videos on it and do my best, right? And that's all we can hope for. Everybody's just trying to learn. So I'm able to do all of that because you all support this channel, and our Patreon members always keep coming back, and the donations you guys give allow me to make these updates, have access to a lot of these graphics I have here, and just the whole system that we have set up, as well as a lot of our posts over the last few days, for example, on Western Pacific weather, about the earthquakes and information and videos. That comes from our admin in the Philippines. A lot of people say, thanks, Robert. And I'm just like, I have no idea what's going on right now. I mean, I kind of do, but I don't have it to the research that, for example, this graphic right here I didn't make. That was from one of our admins out there in the Philippines. So I just want to stress that the support and everything goes back into all of that. So thank you guys so much for all of your support. And as always, thanks for watching, okay? Stay safe out there.